You want it so badly, but the more you chase it, the more it slips away. Success, love, peace, even a simple sense of clarity. You push, you visualize, you do everything right. But instead of arriving, it retreats. Why? Because what you're chasing can feel the fear behind your grip. And that fear is loud. It tells the world, you're desperate, you're attached, you're trying to control what can't be controlled. And here's the truth nobody told you. The strongest energy isn't chasing, it's stillness. You don't attract what you beg for. You attract what you become. So if you're tired of begging, tired of pretending to be positive while quietly drowning in anxiety, then stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why letting go might be the most powerful move you'll ever make. Let me ask you this. How many times have you tried to force something into your life, only to end up exhausted and empty? You tried to hold on tighter, to affirm louder, to push harder. But all it did was push it further away. That's because real attraction doesn't come from struggle. It comes from alignment. And today, I'm going to show you 10 Stoic principles that will flip your mindset from forcing life to becoming the kind of person that effortlessly draws the right things in. No fluff, no magic tricks, just clear thinking, calm energy, and the ancient mental discipline that helped emperors stay steady in the face of chaos. And at the end of this video, I'll reveal the Mambrao single Stoic belief that quietly rewired my relationship with goals, love, and self-worth. It's not about detachment, it's about magnetic clarity. So stay with me, not to get more things, but to finally become someone that no longer needs to chase. Meet Ben. Every goal he chased hard. He set alarms, he made vision boards, he repeated affirmations like his life depended on them. He believed that if he just wanted it bad enough, it would happen. But nothing did. The promotion went to someone else. The relationship fell apart as soon as he tried to lock it in. Even peace of mind felt further and further away, the more he tried to force it, until one day, he took a walk through the woods. No phone, no plan, and he saw a butterfly. He tried to catch it, but every time he reached out, it flew. So eventually, he gave up. He sat down, breathed, and guess what? The butterfly came back and landed right on his shoulder. Ben didn't attract it by chasing. He attracted it by being still. Just like that butterfly, the things you want most don't respond to desperation. They respond to your frequency, and the Stoics knew this. They didn't beg the world to give them more. They became the kind of person who could receive more without losing themselves in the process. Maybe the same is waiting for you, not when you try harder, but when you finally let go of trying to control the wind. Shift 1. Desire without clinging. There's nothing wrong with wanting something deeply. The Stoics weren't against desire, they were against attachment. Because desire becomes dangerous the moment it turns into neediness. You can want love, you can want success, you can want peace. But the moment you say, I need this to feel whole, you give your power away. You place your peace on the shoulders of something you don't fully control. And the Stoics had a word for this: bondage. Because clinging is not connection, it's a form of fear. Here's the practice. Next time you want something, say this to yourself: I want this, but I'll be okay without it, because I never needed it to be whole. That doesn't kill your motivation. It clears your energy, because what you chase with panic repels, but what you pursue with stillness, it starts to find its way to you. Desire isn't the enemy, but desperation is a repellent. So want deeply, act wisely, and hold loosely, because the tighter you grip, the more it slips. Shift. 2. Clarity is the first magnet. Here's a harsh truth. Most people aren't attracting what they want because they don't even know what they truly want. They confuse feelings with goals. They chase vague ideas, more success, better love, inner peace, but ask them, what does that actually look like in your day-to-day life? And they fall silent because the mind cannot attract what the heart has not defined. You can't manifest a blurry target. You can't align with something you haven't even named. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." But if your thoughts are scattered, unclear, contradictory, what color is your life becoming? The Stoics didn't pray for vague blessings. They trained their minds to be precise, to know what mattered and what was noise. So here's your practice. Instead of saying, "I want freedom," say, "I want to work 4 days a week, make X per month, and have time to walk every morning in silence." Instead of saying, "I want a relationship," say, "I want to build with someone who values stillness, who respects emotional space, and who brings peace more than chaos." Because clarity isn't about control. It's about signal, and attraction, whether you call it energetic or psychological, doesn't respond to confusion. It responds to direction. You can't receive what you haven't made space for. So stop throwing vague wishes into the wind and start crafting invitations that even the universe can't mistake. Because when you know exactly what you want, you stop settling for what merely shows up. Shift 3. Belief is the real engine. You say you want something, you write it down, you make the vision board, you repeat the affirmations, but somewhere deep inside, a voice whispers, "You're not ready, you're not enough. This isn't for people like you." And that voice, it cancels out every ounce of action you take, because here's the truth. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe you're allowed to have. If you believe you're always one step behind, you'll sabotage when you get close. If you believe good things are temporary, you'll push them away before they even fully arrive. That's not fate, that's programming. And the Stoics understood this. They didn't just train their will, they trained their inner narrative. Epictetus said, "It's not events that disturb us, but our view of them." What if it's not the world that's holding you back, but the way you've been taught to see yourself? Here's your practice. Every time you hear that quiet doubt, the "I'm not ready," or "I've failed too many times," or "This isn't who I am," don't argue, don't fight, just breathe and reply, "That may have been true once, but I'm choosing something different now." Reprogramming doesn't happen in one day, but it begins with one refusal to let the old story run the show. Because no matter how clear your vision is, if the engine underneath runs on self-doubt, you'll never move forward. Want to change your outer world? Upgrade your inner software first. Not with hype, but with quiet, consistent belief that sounds like, "I can handle this, I'm worthy of this, I was made for this." Shift 4. Gratitude as magnetic force. There's a strange thing about the human mind. It's wired to notice what's missing, not what's working. You focus on the one text that didn't come. Instead of the friend who always checks in, you stress about the money you lack, instead of the small freedoms you already have. You ache for peace, while ignoring the pockets of quiet that are already present. If you just pause, and then you wonder why life keeps giving you more of that emptiness. But the Stoics were clear. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Epictetus, gratitude isn't weakness, it's directional energy. It tells your system, this is what matters, this is worth keeping, this is worth multiplying, because the mind follows attention, and what you appreciate, you begin to protect. And what you protect, you begin to attract more of. Here's your practice. Before you visualize what you want, write down 3 things you already have that once you only dreamed of. Then ask yourself, am I living today like someone who already has enough? Because when you stop leaking dissatisfaction, you stop broadcasting lack. And when you stop broadcasting lack, you start to attract from fullness, not from fear. And nothing is more magnetic than a grounded human who can look at life and say, this is good, and it can get even better. But I don't need more to feel whole right now. Gratitude isn't a performance, it's a state. And when you live from it, you don't have to chase. You become the kind of person everything good wants to find. Shift 5. Action over fantasy. You say you want it, you dream about it, you replay it in your mind, every morning, every night. But here's the brutal truth. The universe doesn't respond to imagination alone. It responds to movement, to energy, to alignment, not wishful thinking. You can visualize the life you want all day. But if you wake up tomorrow and do nothing different, you're not manifesting. You're escaping. You're using dreams as a drug to numb the discomfort of actually showing up, and the Stoics were clear. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Epictetus, that means don't just write the goals, don't just journal the plan. Don't spend another month waiting for the energy to be right or the sign to be clear. Move, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, even if your hands are shaking and your mind is loud with doubt, because clarity doesn't always come before action. It often comes from action. Here's your practice. Pick one thing today that aligns with the life you say you want. Then do it quietly. No post, no announcement, no needing applause, just motion, just proof that you're not addicted to fantasy. You're committed to progress, because the Stoic path is not about dreaming. It's about doing, with intention, with purpose, with presence. Let others manifest with mood boards. You'll manifest with decisions, because every time you act, even in the smallest way, you send a signal that says, I believe, I'm ready, I'm aligned. And that energy, that's what the world responds to. Shift 6. Remove self-sabotage. You don't always need more motivation. You don't need more time. You don't even need a better strategy. What you need is to stop becoming your own obstacle. Because the real reason you haven't become who you want to be is because, deep down, you keep pulling the plug right before the energy flows. You say you want peace, then check your phone 200 times a day. You say you want love, then run the moment things feel stable. You say you want success, but keep replaying your failures like they're your identity. That's not bad luck. That's self-sabotage. And here's what the Stoics would say. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius, you are not a victim of chaos. You're a participant. Every time you repeat the pattern, that quietly poisons your progress. So here's your practice. Take inventory. Where do your habits not match your hopes? What daily actions are slowly telling your nervous system, we don't deserve this? Don't shame yourself. Just notice, then choose again. Because the moment you stop betraying yourself in tiny, silent ways, you start becoming magnetic in loud, undeniable ways. There is no attraction without integrity, and there is no integrity when your beliefs and your behavior live on separate planets. So start small. One honest choice, one aligned step, one no, where you used to say yes. Out of fear, you don't need to become perfect. You just need to stop participating in your own resistance. Because the most powerful version of you isn't buried under failure. It's buried under your excuses. And the day you stop protecting them, is the day you start remembering your power. Shift 7. Your energy follows your attention. Want to know where your life is headed? Don't look at your goals. Look at your attention. What do you think about when your mind goes quiet? What do you keep checking, refreshing, scrolling, even when you say you want peace? Because where your attention goes, your reality grows. You say you want clarity, but your mind is in 17 tabs. You say you want growth, but your attention is trapped in gossip, distractions, and other people's timelines. You're not broken, but your attention is being hijacked. And with it, your focus, your vibration, your direction. And here's what the Stoics believed. The mind that can master its attention can master any circumstance. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." Why? Because he knew to protect your focus, you must be willing to look different from the crowd. Here's your practice. Audit the next 24 hours. Every hour, ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind right now? Hope or fear? Depth or noise? Discipline or escape? Then shift, not to perfection, but to intention. Because your attention is not just a function of your brain, it's the compass of your life. And if you don't reclaim it, the world will keep using it to build their vision, not yours. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you give the most energy to. So feed your mind what you want to multiply, because the mind is a mirror and it reflects what you stare at too long. Guard it, train it, direct it, or be owned by whatever's loudest. Shift 8. Let goof resistance. Here's a strange paradox. The more you push, the more things push back. The more you cling, the more they slip through. It's not a curse. It's not the universe testing you. It's just simple energy. Resistance repels. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. They didn't chase outcomes. They cultivated presence because they knew you can't control the tide, but you can control your posture. You can scream at the wind, or you can adjust your sails. You can tighten your grip, or you can open your palm and finally receive. But if you're honest, how much of your mental energy right now is being spent resisting what already is? Resisting change, resisting silence, resisting not knowing, resisting not being in control. And in that resistance, you get stuck because life flows through allowance, not through force. Here's your practice. Instead of asking, how do I get this faster? Ask, where am I tightening, where I should be trusting? Then breathe, soften. Let the moment be exactly what it is. Not because you're giving up, but because you're smart enough to know that fighting everything is the quickest way to lose yourself. This isn't about being passive, it's about being strategic. Because when you stop resisting, you stop wasting energy on battles you were never meant to fight. You stop trying to carry the ocean and finally learn to float. Let go, not because you're weak, but because the strength you need only arrives when your fists unclench. Shift 9. Time and patience are proof of trust. Everyone says they trust the process until the process takes too long. You want love, but not if it takes years. You want healing, but only if it happens quickly. You want the reward, but you're watching the clock like your soul's on a deadline. Here's the truth most people never admit. You don't have a patience problem. You have a trust problem. Because real patience isn't just waiting without complaining. It's waiting without losing your alignment. The Stoics didn't measure strength by speed. They measured it by staying power, by the ability to keep showing up, steady, centered, even when nothing was happening. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire during war, plague, and betrayal. But his greatest power, he didn't rush the moments he couldn't control. He trusted that right timing is just as important as right action. Here's your practice. When things feel slow, ask yourself, do I believe this desire is real, or do I only believe in it when results are instant? Then breathe into the waiting, into the space, into the part of you that wants to fill every silence with something loud, because here's the secret. Rushing is a trauma response. Stillness is a sign of trust. The universe isn't late. Your nervous system is just addicted to panic timelines. But you can break the pattern by staying calm in the face of uncertainty, because your ability to wait without shrinking is the most powerful proof that you're ready to receive, and what's truly meant for you will never need to be forced. Shift 10. Align before you attract. Most people try to attract things they haven't even prepared for. They want the relationship, but haven't built the emotional stability to handle one. They want success, but haven't created the daily structure to sustain it. They want peace, but their lifestyle still feeds chaos. So instead of manifesting, they fantasize. Instead of attracting, they drain. Because here's the cold truth. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. You can script, you can visualize, you can repeat affirmations every night. But if your habits, your beliefs, your nervous system are still stuck in fear, scarcity, or self-sabotage, then the signal you send out will always be mixed, and mixed signals produce mixed results. The Stoics didn't try to impress the gods. They tried to master themselves. They didn't chase outcomes. They became ready for them. First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. Epictetus, here's your practice. Stop asking, how do I get it? And start asking, am I becoming the version of me that what I want is already looking for? Then realign. Small, daily, relentlessly. Because the world isn't ignoring you. It's just waiting for you to become a clear enough signal to receive what's already circling around you. And when you finally align, you don't have to chase, you don't even have to manifest, you simply become. And that's when everything shifts. Because attraction is not about force, it's about frequency. And your frequency is just your daily choices multiplied over time. Choose accordingly. Let's be honest. You don't need another vision board, another self-help post, another burst of motivation that fades by next Monday. What you need is to remember this. You don't attract by forcing, faking, or fantasizing. You attract by aligning, by becoming so clear, so grounded, so whole in yourself, that what you desire no longer feels like a chase, it feels like a match, and every Stoic knew it. Strength isn't loud, it's still power. Isn't pushy, it's prepared. So stop begging life to change, start becoming the kind of person life naturally bends toward, because what you want isn't far away. It's just on the other side of the person you're becoming. If this helped you recenter, realign, and maybe even breathe a little deeper, then join our Stoic Circle. Subscribe, reflect, and keep walking with intention. Comment below. What's one thing you'll stop chasing and start aligning with instead? And when you're ready for more, watch this next video. The Stoic Art of Letting Go. Why emotional detachment might be the deepest love. Thanks for growing deeper, wiser, and a little more stoic today.